Hi there, welcome. If you want a successful, happy life, and I believe we all want that, learning how to take responsibility and facing your own character defects, pain and internal dysfunction is a must. In this process, it starts with you. Well, that was a mouthful to start with, but what I'm really talking about here is taking ownership of yourself so that you truly can be successful. Success always starts on the inside before it ever materialises externally. We all naturally want happiness and we all want to avoid pain. Looking at yourself and taking responsibility for your thinking, your feelings, your emotions and actions, look, it can be a painful process. Changing your deep-seated beliefs about yourself and actioning the truth will be difficult. If you don't, you will stay where you are, and it's like banging your head continually against a brick wall expecting a different result. It isn't going to happen. Drugs allowed me to escape reality and the pain of change and allowed me to feel good in the moment. But what did they do? They prevented me from dealing with my internal dysfunction. Identifying this, forgiving and letting it go is the only way to becoming the true success you're really meant to be. Because we don't want the pain of change, we stay where we are, which is much easier in the moment, and to excuse our inaction, we blame circumstances and others for our own predicament rather than asking ourselves, well, what part did I play in this? And what can I do to grow and learn from this? And what are the root causes behind this so that I don't keep repeating the same mistakes? This was me in the past. Mister, I have got the excuses for everything, and I just kept pushing offence and hurt and pain deep within me rather than taking responsibility. I blamed circumstances, people, I held on to bitterness and resentment, and that never ever works. My responsibility is to develop my life, face my fears and the lies that have formed my life adversely, go back into my past and discover the root causes of my pain and really face them. This takes courage. Living and escaping reality, you will never ever truly be successful. Now let's talk on the process of change and moving forward. How do I implement sustained change in my life? Firstly, as I've mentioned, it's about taking ownership of our faulty thinking, our imperfections and character flaws. It's okay to fearlessly look at these without condemning yourself, knowing that we are perfectly imperfect. Facing and dealing with these is the pathway to success. Change is a process, and look, it's often slow, but it is rewarding along the way. Embrace that journey. See those small rewards as you continually grow upwards. It's not just about the ending. You may ask, I have specific fears and pain or an addiction. How do I stop this? It's not going to be easy. Firstly, you have to really want to change. To really change, there is usually always some sort of reward in our dysfunctional behaviour that keeps us where we are. Identifying this is really important. For example, the moment of first taking drugs gave me the reward of being able to forget and escape pain, and a great feeling in that moment. That brought me my perceived happiness. But the price I paid was not being able to grow and develop or have any hope of reaching my full potential and being successful. Most of our dysfunction stems back to our childhood, and we need to go back there and discover what happened that made us think and act the way that we do now. I've had times where I've shrunk back from opportunities to step up. I've had anger in my life. These circumstances that have arisen have shown me a need for change. In these moments, I've had to do so much serious soul searching. Deep down at some level, we do know what the root causes are, and we can often identify those causes. For me, often I have identified growing up hearing that I was a hopeless critter, that I'd never amount to anything, that I was dumb and stupid, feeling abandoned and unloved and fearful. And I added a whole lot of these to the list that I perceived. This affected my mindset as it went way, way down within me, and it affected the way I behaved. Not only did I have to adopt a positive mindset and action it, but I had to work on inner healing fears and learning to like myself, get rid of shame, self-loathing, small-mindedness, and my fears. Don't be afraid or embarrassed to talk about what you are remembering. Getting it out is so important. For me, I used to bottle everything up inside, and as I mentioned, blame others. And I didn't know how to open up. But as they say, a problem shared is a problem halved. Don't hide your pain. Sharing it will make you stronger. When you've identified the root cause, for example, remembering you felt inadequate as a child, being told often that you were stupid or dumb and believing it, or you heard words like, "Why do you keep asking such stupid questions?" Or you could have had much, much worse happen to you in your childhood. As hard as it might be now, you can start the process of forgiveness for the people who have hurt you. And also, more importantly, forgiving yourself and then letting go of these things. As they say, unforgiveness is like eating the rat poison and hoping the rat will die. Well, obviously that's stupidity. Do you really want to stay in this tortured state, constantly carrying these burdens around with you that you don't have to, and they really so limit you? Once you've embarked on this process, then you can replace it with the truth about who you really are and begin actioning this. The truth is that your life does have true meaning and worth. When you realise how valuable you are, then you no longer want to unconsciously do harm to yourself. You find that facing pain is easier and more rewarding than trying to escape it and push it down deep inside. You will need some help in this process. You can't do it alone. I had a couple come into my life with a proven track record in recovery that helped me immensely with courses in therapy. And this helped keep me on track. I also had a financial mentor come into my life who challenged me on my fear-based mentality, showing me that I could grow my career far beyond what I had envisaged, and that I was creating my own ceiling with my own limited thinking on what I could achieve and the remuneration I could attract, when in fact the sky was the limit. I could rise above this. It was my thinking that held me back and my beliefs. I began educating myself, reading books and working my way up in my sales career. For example, one thing I realised was that my vocabulary was very limited. In fact, it really involved just a bunch of obscenities. And to become credible, I had to broaden my vocabulary so that I could be credible in sales. I began by regularly adding a word from the dictionary, including the meaning, one which I'd never used, and I'd stick it on the dash of my car and make it part of my sentences. It felt a bit funny at the start, saying words like ambiguous and ostentatious and so many bigger words that I could hardly get my mouth around. But I made it fun because part of recovery is having humour and enjoying laughing is a vital key to overcoming adversity. Without humour, it's easy to give up. It is important to be able to laugh at yourself and the situations in which you find yourself dealing with. Some of them in my case have been absolutely hilarious. In summary, it's like we often find false hope and happiness in erroneous bad behaviour. There's another big word. This brings us more pain and ends up imprisoning us. And the very thing we wanted was comfort, to feel happier and to bring us fulfilment, ends up being exactly the opposite. It's like the old song, looking for love in the wrong places. And no, I'm not going to sing it to you. This can be replaced with the truth about you. You are just as valuable as anyone else. You are a winner. You have within you the unique God-gifted talents that may yet be undiscovered. These developed will make you the winner you know you can be and fulfill your dreams. Once I embarked on this process, it was really important to hang in there. Thoughts lead to actions, actions lead to habits, and habits lead to lifestyles. So I had to keep with the process of changing my thinking, my attitudes and my behaviour, forming new habits that would lead me to a life of happiness, freedom and success that I really desired. Once you truly get into the habit of change and growth, it becomes an exciting journey, and you will truly be surprised and wish you had the courage to do this earlier. The joy of seeing yourself acting and being at a level that you never thought possible is nothing short of amazing, and this can be you. Thank you.